Hello, learners, and welcome to another week at CPDLF. This week, we're going to be focusing on 6 units, and we're going to talk about these here in just a minute. So we're starting at 11.2, which is going to talk about domestic policies, which deals with things that happened inside the United States. And you'll look at the different things, contributions of Hillary Clinton, a little bit more about the Clinton years, and we talked about Clinton's presidency last week. We'll look at foreign policy decisions, so things that happened outside the United States. You know, who do we offer aid to? Do we have to attack someone? We've recently attacked Syria. So these are really big decisions that have to be made. You're going to look at impeachment. We talked about earlier that, President Clinton was impeached. He was not found guilty, but charges were brought up against him. You're going to learn a little bit more about impeachment. Then we'll move to the Clinton years. You're going to take a quiz on that based on what you've learned on Clinton. Then you move down to George W. Bush. His mother recently passed away last week, not that long ago at all. And his mother, of course, was First Lady. We had just talked about George H.W. Bush, his father. And so that's some big news that you should be well aware of. And then we're going to finish up with domestic issues for Unit 11.9. Okay, so if you sit down, you actually go through these units. Essentially, you're doing a little over one a day. Okay, so that should not take much time at all. And again, if you need anything reset, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to reset any of your low-scoring assignments or quizzes. Please remember, we are coming down to the end of the year. May 25th, everything, all the programs at midnight will shut down. So you need to make sure that you have 100% progress. You're passing, you're doing your launches for me. And the important thing is that you are resubmitting those low-scoring assignments. That's going to really, really help you. Summer school is available, but it's $100 a class. And I don't know about you, but I would rather finish the class and not have to pay $100. So that is our goal. So make it happen. If you have 30% left, you're doing about 5% a week in history. Okay, so you need to sit down and figure out exactly what percentage you need to make it through to be completely done by May 25th. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you guys this video on George W. Bush.
Although his presidency began with one of the highest approval ratings in history, George W. Bush was a controversial leader whose time in office was marred with war, debt, and economic recession.
George W. Bush is either the most overrated or underrated president in history, and it's kind of a mystery to figure out which one it is.
Born in New Haven, Connecticut on July 6, 1946, George W. Bush was the oldest child of George H.W. Bush, the 41st President of the United States.
Bush was a third-generation, wealthy political family. His father, of course, was president. His grandfather was a senator. And he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was a party animal in college. He kind of ducked and weaved when it came to the Vietnam War, serving in the National Guard. And he was someone with an alcohol problem.
After earning an MBA from Harvard in 1975, Bush became a successful businessman and later defeated a long-term incumbent Democrat to become the governor of Texas in 1994.
Leanne Riches was the first woman elected governor in Texas, and she was popular. And I think her re-election was assumed, but George W. Bush went on to win that race, and it put him in position to enter the presidential race 5 years later.
After declaring his run for the presidency, Bush rivaled Al Gore in a highly contested election in 2000 that ended with the Supreme Court declaring Bush the 43rd President of the United States.
While George W. Bush did become president in 2000, we should remember that it was through one of the most controversial elections in U.S. history. It was the first time since 1888 that the popular vote and the Electoral College vote did not match.
8 months after his election, terrorists attacked the United States on September 11th, causing Bush to respond with the war on terror in the Middle East.
During his presidency, George Bush helped to lead the country through one of our darkest times, which was 9/11. However, George Bush will forever go down in history as the man who took this country to war, and it was a war over weapons of mass destruction, but no weapons of mass destruction were ever found.
Although he won re-election in 2004, Bush's favorability rating fell due to high unemployment rates, the subprime mortgage crisis, a multi-trillion-dollar budget deficit, and his response to Hurricane Katrina. George W. Bush left office in January 2009.
Okay, so hopefully you learned something new about George W. Bush. Like I said, his mom recently passed away. You can see a picture of her in the family group picture. She was in the front sitting beside her husband, George H.W. Bush. Okay, so if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. It's very important that you figure out a schedule for yourself as we're coming down, like I said, to the remaining weeks of school. I don't know where the year went, but like I said, please reach out to me. Get on the nightly chats with the teachers if you need help, or reach out to your teachers during the day by email. It doesn't matter, but it's important that you get the material done. Okay, thanks so much. Have a great week. Bye.